What is good, everyone? Today I'm back with another vlog. In this video I'm in the middle of a forest, absolutely beautiful scenery, and another video where I just want to get out of the house. Came to this local forest, and I wanted to start by saying a huge thanks to you all for the comments on the first video. That was actually a pretty scary video to put up, being quite open like that, but all the comments were so supportive, so I want to say huge thank you to you all for that. It was a bit unexpected. I wasn't expecting that much support for this style of content, but it feels really nice to be able to get away from the studio and do this style of video. To be honest, it's just such an outlet for me, both creatively, and obviously I get to speak my mind a little bit, get some fresh air. When I'm just sat in front of the sampler, it really is ultra focused on that. So yeah, it's really nice to be able to get out again. And this scenery today is perfect. It's a very, very chilly day. Obviously you can see I'm wrapped up again in exactly the same clothes as I was in the last video probably, but I need a petition for me to get a new beanie, because every video I'm doing I seem to be wearing this orange beanie, so I might invest in one of those. Maybe I should start a GoFundMe to get a new beanie. But yeah, it's great to be out of the house, and I'm going to go around this forest and talk about a topic which was something that really hit me a couple of months ago, maybe a year ago, to be honest. It was about samplers and using samplers and just generally being a beat maker. I think it's a common problem that a lot of new sort of beat makers fall into, and it's one of these things that is sometimes just getting attacked here, sometimes not our fault entirely, but more the fault of like marketing of companies and that kind of thing. You can easily fall victim to that, as I nearly fall over a very slippy log. Let's just get through this bit because that was a bit slippy. But yeah, and that's thinking that a new sampler is essentially gonna turn you into some kind of prodigy beat maker. Now this has happened to me a few times, and yeah, the results were that it didn't turn out very well. So yeah, I think it was around the time of probably me getting the 2500 MPC. I was really struggling to get a sound out of that, and thinking back now, it wasn't really to do with the device, it was more to do with where I was at as a beat maker. And at that point I decided to get an SP 404SX, so that was my first step into the world of the SP, and it didn't really improve my beat making. I think one thing it did do is it got me into the whole lo-fi buzz, which I was really into before I bought the SP. I wanted to get into that, so it did help. But one of the main reasons I bought the SP was because of artists that were making totally different music to what I make now. One artist that sticks out in particular is a guy called Teespring. Now, I was reading loads of interviews about artists that I liked at that time and trying to figure out what gear they were using, basically. And he said that he used an SP, so I thought, well, I'm going to get one of these, because if he can make music like that with an SP, I'm going to as well. So this is going a bit off topic, this is more SP related, but I think one of the things with the SP that you have to be careful about is that a lot of producers use them just for effects processing. They don't actually use them to make beats. So sometimes you'll hear a beat which sounds like it's got the SP vibe, but you think, how have they done all these breaks and pauses and layered things? And it's probably because they're using a DAW, but they're just using the SP for various effects. So that's a little bit off topic, but it's still on topic with what I'm saying, is that buying a piece of equipment is not going to make you a better beat maker. What is going to make you a better beat maker is sitting down, spending a lot of time making beats, experimenting with different sounds and different ideas, listening to lots and lots of music, especially lo-fi or whatever genre you want to make, and almost treating it like a job in a way if you really do want to get good. But I mean, most importantly, obviously you've got to enjoy it and have a passion for it. So that's really the point of this video. Music equipment on its own will not turn you into some sort of prodigy. it's you that's doing everything with that piece of equipment. So it's more important to better yourself. And sometimes when you're thinking of buying a new piece of gear, I would say, if that's the reason you're buying a new piece of gear, don't do it. I would say spend the time trying to get excited about that piece of gear again. Maybe watch some YouTube videos about it. Try and find some artists that use that gear, and you know, just try and get yourself inspired about using that piece of gear again, rather than jumping ship all the time. Because what you quickly realise, and it's what I realised, is that you're constantly buying gear to try and make yourself a better musician or a better beat maker, and it never works, unfortunately. It's whoa, that was a very muddy bit there. It's a folly, I think that's the right word for it. And obviously, like I was saying, we're very aggressively marketed to these days. People want us to buy their products, and that's capitalism, and that's okay to a point. But I would say that definitely persevere with the equipment that you've got, and that will definitely help you become a better beat maker, because you're going to be getting better at that piece of gear. You're going to know that piece of gear better. You're going to have passion for that piece of gear. So master a piece of gear before you even ever decide to move on and buy something else. Unless there is something you really don't like about that piece of gear, maybe the workflow or something like that, persevere with that piece of gear, get inspired about it again, and see what you can do with it. So obviously, because of the channel, I've built up a bit of a collection of SPs over the years, but the main one that I've always used is the SX, so I've always gone back to that one. And yeah, okay, the other SPs may have offered something in terms of different effects. I think the 202 is a great example of that. That's more of like an effects pedal, and at the time when I bought it, the price was right for it just to be an effects pedal and a sample processing unit. So I think as a topic in a whole, that's all I really wanted to say in this video. Is it's easy to get down about gear and think that a new piece of gear is going to solve all your problems, but the reality is it's you making those beats, it's you making those decisions, those creative decisions. So it's much better spending the time trying to improve yourself creatively and then applying that to the piece of gear that you already own, and you save yourself some money as well. So we talked about some creative stuff about beat making, and wanted to talk about mental health as well. I think it's really important actually to be more open about it, and to talk about it more, and hopefully it's encouraging some of you to do the same thing. Now, obviously, a full disclaimer, I have no medical or professional qualifications whatsoever when it comes to this kind of thing. These are purely little things that have been working for me. But what I will say is, this morning when I woke up, I was just dreading the idea of coming to make this video, and not in a sort of depressed kind of way. I think I was just like, I'm not really a morning person anyway, so I felt quite lethargic and tired. And honestly, since I've got out here, I feel like absolutely full of energy, and I think it's just because there's the sun, the scenery is absolutely beautiful, and that's just made me feel a lot better, and now I feel full of energy. So I'm really glad that I've forced myself to do this series, because it is actually forcing me to get out of the house and do nice, interesting things. And this today has just felt so, I don't know, it's felt peaceful, but at the same time energizing. So that's a pretty weird paradox, I know, but I feel way better for getting out of the house. And now I'm just going to go home, enjoy the rest of the afternoon, edit this video down, because I have actually filmed this today, if you're watching it on the day of release. And yeah, I know and like I say, it's not professional advice by any means, but if you do feel like you are spending a lot of time indoors and you're not feeling too great, honestly recommend just trying to get out and try and find something in your local area to go and look at, a site or a park or anything like that. I appreciate it's a lot harder if you're living in a sort of urban environment. I'm very lucky to be close to a very rural area, but honestly it's worked wonders for me. So I highly recommend trying it for yourself. And what's the worst that can happen? If it doesn't help you, at least you went out and got some fresh air and a bit of exercise, but I'm pretty sure it will help. So yeah, I thought it was important to continue the discussion about mental well-being and mental health, because obviously that's been one of the main reasons why I've started this series. So I do hope that it is inspiring some of you out there, even if it just inspires one person to to get out and do more exercise, and that ends up making you feel a lot better, then I'm very, very happy. So yeah, give it a try, and I do hope that it helps you. And if that doesn't help you necessarily, I hope you do find something that does, really. I know it can be a battle trying to find those things that get you out of these lulls and dark times. So yeah, if you are struggling a bit, I guess it's, like I say, it's worth a go, just trying to get outside a little bit and getting away from the same four walls that you're looking at all the time. Well guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. That was an unbelievably rewarding walk around nearby forest near me. Feel really fresh and re-energized after that, after feeling pretty groggy this morning. Hope some of the topics in the video helped you out about the beat making and the mental well-being as well. If you want to leave a comment below, by all means, I'll try my very best to get back to you. I can't promise that because it's getting incredibly busy lately on the channel. But yeah, please leave a comment if this has helped. Like I mentioned earlier, if this helps one person, I'm very, very happy. So yeah, that's it for this one. Don't forget the links are below if you want to support what I'm doing with the beat making and with everything to do with the channel. There's a load of different ways you can do that. Until next time guys, keep making beats, keep improving yourselves, and I'll be back very soon. Peace. Okay, I don't know what is going on with this plant, but it's moving on its own. This is really weird.